Today's show brought to you in part by GoToMeeting. For a free 30-day trial, use code podcast at gotomeeting.com.
Do you know if your pet has a healthy body condition? Check it out on Tales from the Road.
Well, Jill, body condition sounds maybe a little strange. What do you mean when you say that?
Yes, body condition. Well, this is something that is a little different than just looking at the scale. So when we talk about a pet's weight or body condition, those can be two very different things. If you say a dog weighs 15 pounds, that's all well and good. But is that 15 pounds a healthy 15 pounds, an underweight 15 pounds?
Right. He's big boned.
So, yeah.
A little muscular.
Yes. Yeah. And some of them are. However, no matter how big their bones are, they're set in a certain frame and they should be carrying a certain amount of weight on them. So we're going to actually be starting a little bit of a series of episodes, and we're going to be talking about body condition and obesity prevention and how to feed your pet so that it stays healthy. So be able to dial in for the next few weeks, actually.
Yeah. So, Jill, why is it so important to pay attention to body condition on an ongoing basis?
Well, it's super important because we really have almost an epidemic of overweight and obese pets in the United States. About half or a little more of our pets are not at their ideal body weight and ideal body condition. And the really concerning part about that is about a fourth of those pets have owners who think that they're at the right body condition. So we're going to spend a little time today talking about what normal is and compare how that might look at home and in your RV.
Yeah, so it's just like humans, where you have, or I assume it's just like humans, if a person's carrying a lot of extra weight. I mean, diabetes is one thing that comes to mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And pets are no exception to that. Their diabetes pathology is a little different than humans, but we don't tend to have a lot of diabetes that can be controlled by oral medications and diet alone and that kind of thing like humans. But we actually consider our overweight cats to be pre-diabetics because their risk is so high for developing that. But it's not just diabetes. You carry you've got a frame designed to carry 50 pounds and it's carrying 75, those joints and things are going to have a lot more wear and tear on them. We're going to get more things like arthritis, torn ligaments. We also have an increase in abdominal tumors and cancers, enlarged hearts. If you've ever sat next to a man who weighs about 350 pounds, you can hear him breathing from across the room. And the same is true for our pets. They have a terrible time being able to breathe, and their hearts have to work a lot harder as well.
Yeah. So over time, how does this actually change the physiology of the animal?
Well, it changes a lot, and it's actually, it doesn't always just change it in the disease processes that we talked about. When their pets are chronically overweight through their lives, they can actually live on average about 2 years less than a pet who's at their ideal body condition. So it plays a huge impact. Also, it gets really, really tough, especially in our obese pets, to do some weight loss things. Not impossible, not unneeded, but harder because fat is an organ. We always think of it as sort of a storage unit for Crisco, but it's actually, it's actually an organ. It's made up of cells, and it has serves functions. It secretes hormones and things, and it helps you determine when you feel hungry. And so when you have enough of a fat store, it's sending out so much of the message that you're full that your body doesn't even listen to it anymore. So it's sort of like when you're in the grocery store and you hear that kid in the next aisle who's like, "Mommy, mommy, 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 mommy," and mom's like, totally tuned it out. And that's what our bodies do, and that's what our pets' bodies do. Is they actually downregulate and don't listen to the "I'm full" hormone the "I'm full" message.
So it's
double
like,
double
particularly
whammy.
as you're traveling then. And you just, you're anxious to get out, get on with the day. You just throw them some food, or even you actually just fill the bowl and just
and let them rip.
So the normal signals aren't there.
Yeah, and very overweight pets, the normal signals aren't there. Yeah. But certainly for our traveling pets, if you're hitting the road and you've got some compact storage space in your unit, you really only want to carry maybe the amount of food you're going to need. So We'll figure out how much that is a little bit later. But huge important thing. And especially, you know, when we have our overweight pets and they have breathing difficulty or they have some arthritis related to this stuff, it makes it harder for them to travel with you. They don't have as much energy. They can't withstand as many things.
So how do we avoid all of this?
How do we avoid? Oh gosh, we need like a whole nother network.
That's what we're going to be talking about over this whole series, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because we really do. It's all about prevention. Now, certainly for the half of our pet population that is already overweight, we're going to talk about weight loss and that type of thing and how to do that in a healthy way. But never getting there in the first place is really the best step. Because really, once all these secondary things happen, you know, the diabetes, the arthritis, whatever, even after they lose that weight, those are still there. You know, the ligament is still ruptured, the knee is still blown, the diabetes is still there. You know, and then if you want to have to worry about packing insulin on your trip, you know, that throws another little kinker into the mix too.
Okay, so on our next episode, we're going to be talking about how much to feed. In the meantime, remind you that Tales from the Road has its own board on Pinterest.
Yes, it does.
On the RVNN Pinterest. Ask you to circle us on Google+, thumbs up on Facebook, and on Twitter if you have questions for Dr. Jill. The hashtag is #TFTR.
That's
Easy
right.
to remember.
That's
Tales
right.
from the Road.
For some reason, no one took that one already. So Tales from the Road. Now, we'll also have, somewhere along the line, we'll have actually an example of what a body condition score sheet looks like. And it'll also be available in some other places in the site and that. But it gives you a really good chance to look at your pet at home. It's a scale of 5. 1 is very, very too thin, emaciated. 5 is obese. 3 is ideal. And it has some very specific landmarks in there for you to look for. For instance, you need to know that ribs exist. You know, not count them from across the room. Know they exist. Know that hip bones exist. We don't want them pointy, but know, you know, you don't maybe like and try to get down in there to find them. So there are some very specific descriptions and landmarks on the body condition score chart that you can that you can examine for yourself and see what you think your pet's body condition score is. And of course, we'll compare that to with what your veterinarian thinks your pet's body condition score is. So we'll get that full physical exam.
Okay, very cool. Hey, join us next time on Tales from the Road.
Hey, Gabe, wanna go for a walk? Gabe? Gabe? Gabe?
Hey, buddy, you lost? Hold on.
If your pet is the adventuresome type, be sure he's connected to Pet Hub. A quick scan using any smartphone shares your pet's vital information so that even his wildest escapades have a happy ending. Pet Hub, reuniting pets with their families.
Come on, Gabe, let's go home.